Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks so much for joining me again for another video. This is a special video today as this is my So Frugal 22 reveal video. So I'm hoping to have this up for you guys on the 31st of March, which is the reveal day. So it's just been the most wonderful challenge to be involved in this year. I wasn't able to be involved in Frugal Frocks last year, but being involved now in So Frugal 22 this year has just been the most fun. I was really lucky to be one of the vloggers involved, so one of the 70 vloggers. So I've been watching them all the way along, which has been fabulous. And also to be able to make my own garments as well and join into this absolutely fabulous challenge. So thank you so much to Sam from Frugalissima and Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl. I can only imagine the hard work that went on behind the scenes for this challenge, but it's just been fabulous and it's really captured the imagination of the whole sewing community. So without further ado, I will start with what I'm wearing, and this is my make number 1. This is the Patterns by Pirates Tulip Tee. So really pleased with this. It's a lovely grown on sleeve t-shirt with a beautiful crossover front, which I'll stand up and show you, and then quite long at the back. And this fabric came from the Knitting and Stitching Festival when it was last in Dublin, I think in 2019. Fingers crossed it comes back again soon. And it was a half-made Tilling the Buttons Agnes dress that I just never ever finished. So I thought I would have enough fabric for this. I just about did. If you look very closely on this panel here, you can see there's a few seams as I had to do a bit of a patchwork job to get all the pieces together, but I think I got away with it. I really enjoyed making this pattern. It's really interesting detail having the crossover front and just beautifully drafted and really easy to follow instructions. So I have my notes here. So I made a straight size medium according to my measurements, which fit really well. I made the hemmed version, so I didn't have a band at the bottom. It's drafted for somebody who's 5'5". I'm 5'9" and I took off 2 inches. So the back, it fits me perfectly now. If I made it again, I would only remove 1 inch from the front as it does come up quite short. And I am wearing a top underneath just in case. So, but overall, really nice. There's loads of variations for this, which I'll pop up here. You can do nursing options, you can do long sleeve, you can have the tulip on the back, or you can have the tulip on the front. I just loved having it on the front because I just really like that detail. You only need to print your size and your view, which is really great, and it's no cut pages, so it takes no time at all to stick together, which is fabulous. One thing to note about this pattern is that it just gives the cut chart for the neckband, so it doesn't actually give a pattern piece. So I thought I had totally finished cutting everything out, and then I was just double checking and I was like, I thought there was a neckband on this. So quickly had to rummage through, and it does just give you the cut chart measurements for the neckband, so just be aware of that. It's not a pattern piece. I almost came a cropper with that, but I had just enough fabric left over, which was great. I was able to do the twin needle on the hem as well, which came out really well. So sometimes that can be hit and miss, but I'm delighted with how it came out. And it's quite a simple construction, but it's very nice. So it does take quite a lot of fabric, because if you think, it is quite a simple t-shirt, but it's effectively 2 front bodice pieces. So just be aware that it might take a little bit more fabric than you're used to for, say, a regular t-shirt. But no, really happy with this, and so absolutely delighted. I would love to make more. I think I have fabric actually I'd like to make another one in, and it's just a really nice simple t-shirt for summer. So I'll give you another little look at the crossover front. It's a little bit hidden in this jazzy fabric, but I really like it and really pleased with how this came out. So I would definitely recommend the Patterns for Pirates Tulip Tee. Next up, I have the Peppermint Patterns in conjunction with In the Folds jumpsuit. So I was a little bit scared about making this. Jumpsuits are a little bit scary, but I'm so delighted I made it, and I'm really happy with the result. So it's easiest if I pop in pictures here of the jumpsuit, because it's quite tricky to show you sitting down, but here she is. You may remember this from last summer. I made a Callie shirt dress in this lovely linen fabric, so I was able to use this as the facing, which is great. And here she is. So here's the jumpsuit. Not that you can really tell, but there you go. So absolutely delighted with this, and I did make the little tie belt that goes with it as well. I think that gives it a really nice finish. So overall, very happy with this. Making jumpsuits, making trousers, any of that is a bit daunting initially, but I thought, look, let's just do it in the spirit of the challenge. Let's just dive straight in. So This is a layered pattern, which is great, although it does give the cutting line and the stitching line, which is a little bit confusing, so just to bear that in mind. I made a size D according to my measurements, which was spot on, and I had a look at the hip measurement, I think, which probably is the most important thing to do in any kind of jumpsuit or trousers. I had an idea that I might need to lengthen it, so I added, totally arbitrarily, I did 1/2 inch to the rise and 1 inch to the leg. However, it came up really big, so I think I ended up taking about 4 inches out of the crotch seam. So when I tried it on first, I was like, oh, something has gone very wrong here. But it might have been due to the fact that I used a stretch fabric and it doesn't call for a stretch fabric, so I will hold my hand up for that. But I think it was very big anyway, and so I'm not quite sure what it was drafted for, but I usually would have to add something to the rise, but I was just surprised about how long in the torso it did come out. So I found the most fabulous blog from let me find it, The Sewing Garden, and it's called How to Take in the Crotch Seam on Pants, which was just brilliant. So I followed that. It's really clever the way it's done. I'll link it down below, and it worked absolutely perfectly. So I ended up taking a good 4 or 5 inches out of the rise, and now I'm really happy with the fit. And it actually wasn't that traumatizing at all, having to do alterations on a pretty much finished garment. The fabric I bought from Fabric Romance late last year, so this was in my stash for the shortest time, but I was super happy now that it's become a lovely garment. The amount I added to the legs actually did work out fine, so I'm glad I did add a little bit of length there, and that's fine. I just hemmed it up a little bit and it fits perfectly. I just wear it with a little pair of trainers, which looks really nice. I'm looking forward to wearing this during the summer, definitely. I might have to wear a little t-shirt under it until our weather heats up a little bit more. She said, hopefully, looking at the grey skies outside. The instructions are absolutely fabulous. They're really good. They give really clear diagrams throughout. There's the burrito method for the facing, which gives a really nice finish, so it's all nice and tidy and tucked away. The only thing there is, because you roll everything up into itself to then pull it through to give the nice finish, you end up pulling pretty much the entire garment out through these shoulder seams, so just be very careful. I heard a few stitches popping when I did that, so because effectively you're pulling out 2 full legs out of this very narrow strip here, so just be warned with that. But it did work eventually. A couple of swear words, couple of why did I start this, but you know yourself, but it came out fine in the end, and the finish it gives is really nice. Oh, I should say it has bust darts as well, which give a lovely finish at the front. It needs an invisible zipper, and I keep forgetting I don't have an invisible zipper foot. I don't know why. I really just need to go and buy one, because this is the second time I've had to put an invisible zipper in, and it's a little bit visible. Although I think I did a good enough job with it here. It's not terribly visible, so there you go. It's not too bad, is it? So that went in very nicely. Again, the instructions are absolutely brilliant, and this fabric is lovely. Despite it being a stretch denim, it does press very nicely, which really helped with the zip. One thing the pattern doesn't have is pockets. So in the interest of so frugal and being frugal, I drafted my own pockets. Basically, I cut out 2 rectangles, nothing earth-shattering. So, and I attached them to the back. And on this one, I was able to use from my stash this lovely little lime embroidered patch that I got from my Beyond the Pink Door advent calendar last year. So I think that's really cute. So I was able to add that to the back, which just gives a little bit of interest. And to do the pockets, I basically measured my phone, and it fits in perfectly, because you couldn't be without pockets. And I think on a jumpsuit, inseam pockets really wouldn't have worked. So I'm glad to put them on the back. So yeah, really happy with this. So I would definitely recommend it. Again, the instructions were just brilliant, honestly. And even like with the facing and the zip and everything, I couldn't fault them. It was absolutely brilliant. So really happy with my peppermint jumpsuit. So I'll see if you can have a little bit more of a look. There you go. So yeah, delighted with this. I'm really looking forward to wearing this during the summer. Oh, I should say that the lovely Carrie from Thread 3 says it's going to look like a comfy baby grow. Yeah, she's not wrong. It totally is. So I'll now move on to the last fabric in my stash and my last make for Sew Frugal 22. And here she is, make number 3, and my stash is completely depleted. I am so excited. If you watch my video for any length of time, I don't carry a huge stash, and I don't really like having a stash. I prefer buying fabric and then making things, because I just love having the finished garment. So this was just the best challenge ever, because it really forced me to look at those things in my stash and to find lovely patterns to accompany them. So I am just delighted with myself now with my 3 lovely makes. So thanks again, ladies. Brilliant. So the last thing I made was the Tammy Handmade Etty Camisole. So looking at the So Frugal WIP hashtag on Instagram, this pattern has been so popular, and I can understand why. It's absolutely beautiful. So I had first seen it on Sam's vlog when she was doing a kind of roundup all the free patterns, and I thought, oh yeah, that looks really, really nice. So downloaded it straight away, and I've seen so many more pop up, and it is just beautiful, and I'm definitely going to make a few more for the summer. It just came up so nicely and really, really quickly. So I will show you. It's in this beautiful teal fabric. So here it is, and it's just got the most beautiful scallop neckline, which did come out quite well. I used the little point turner again that I got from my Beyond the Pink Door advent calendar, so thank you, Andrea, using all your bits and bobs. So it came out beautifully in the end. You just need to kind of take your time really on those scallops. So this teal fabric I had in my stash the longest, I think, from about 2017. I got it in from an online shop in Dublin that was closing down. I can't remember the name of it, I'm so sorry, but it's the most beautiful teal petrol blue viscose fabric. So this is the little top, and then I was also able to make, out of the rest of it, because I had a ton of this fabric, a little self-drafted elastic waist skirt, so I can make a little faux dress, and I think they look really cute together. So this basically was the width of the fabric. It's just got a seam down the back, and then I copied how the Tilly and the Buttons Juno does the elastic for the pajamas. Just put the elastic in here, overlock that, and then fold it over and top stitch, and I think it gives a really, really nice finish at the top. So again, I could wear this with a different top. I'm definitely going to wear that little top with a pair of jeans. And so yeah, so that I just measured this. I think this comes at maybe midi length, so I was able to use most of the fabric, which is really, really great. So yeah, delighted with my little faux dress. So back to the cami. So I made the straight size 10. So I was slightly between the bust sizes, but it seemed to work out fine. There's no darts on this top actually, so it's just straight down. It's just to be warned about that. And it does have a relatively small size range. It's not layered, the pattern, but it's very, very quick to put together because there's little diagonal lines on the corners, which is how I usually put together my patterns anyway. So it is quite true to size, I think. So the size 10, it worked out perfectly. I didn't have to add any extra length or anything. So straight out of the pack, just straight size 10 fit me fine. The scallops are beautiful. It does say to draw the seam line in, but my chalk pen just wouldn't go in this fabric. So I just really took my time. I think I marked the pivot point, I think, which is quite important. I think that did help an awful lot. And then I tried to snip as close to the stitching line as possible without busting through. So I think it worked out there as well. And just when you turn it over and press it, it just gives the most beautiful finish. And I think that's the picture that everybody was showing on Instagram. They're like, look at my lovely scallops, it's so beautiful. The attaching the straps at the back, I did it slightly differently to the pattern in that I was able to flap up the facing and just sew them again inside. I think on the instructions it just has you kind of tack them from the outside, so there's a little kind of finishing technique I did that was slightly different to the pattern. Also, it does get you to finish the facings when the facings have been attached to the bodice, but I think in future I think it's far easier to finish your facings, the lower edge, before you've attached to the bodice, so just a little gotcha thing there. But the facing is quite long, which is very nice, so it's nice and comfortable under the tank top, or the camisole I should call it. Some of the pictures, it's tricky. My version, or the way I was working at it, looked like I had the two right sides facing up or the wrong side, so you just had to kind of keep your bearings there as well. And also at the very, very end, when you're doing up the side seams, it does say to just pin the 4 layers, so the front bodice, the back bodice, and the 2 facings together, and just sew them together. However, I think it gives a nicer finish if you flap up your facing and then sew from the top of the facing all the way down over the seam and down to the bottom, because then when you tuck in your facing, you have a lovely finish at the top. But that's just something that I would do, and I guess it just comes from experience about making these before. So between you and me, there's another very, very well-known camisole on the market, but I think I actually prefer the fit of this one. So yeah, really, really happy with this. So delighted. This is just a little free pattern, and it's just the most beautiful fit, and I really, really like it. The length and everything came up perfectly on me. So yeah, absolutely delighted, and I will be making way more of these for the summer. It would be lovely actually if you got a little pair of shorts or something. You could make it into a little summer pajama set or something. I think would be really cute. And in the interest of it, I did put my little Kylie in the Machine label here, proud as punch, because I really was with this. It's just a little quick, simple make, but I was just so delighted with the result when I put it on, and the straps fit first time and everything. It was just great. So yeah, absolutely delighted with that. So that is my third and final So Frugal make. So once again, thank you so much to Sam and Ruan. You girls have just been absolutely brilliant. Sam with your daily videos on all the prizes, which has just been spectacular. So the amount of work that went into that, thank you very much. So I hope you ladies are going to be running this now for another few years. You might need a little break after March the 31st. I can only imagine how busy you ladies are going to be. But I just want to say thank you for such a wonderful challenge and for making us to have a look at our stash, have a look at all the free patterns that are out there. I think many more than anybody else could have imagined, really, and that we all have such beautiful garments. And I can't wait now for the 31st of March to have a look at everybody's beautiful makes. So thank you very much everybody for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. And I will be back very soon with my other March makes that weren't to do with So Frugal, that were the other bits and bobs that I've been getting up to in March. So thank you very much everybody and take care. Bye.